Strus, Max, three, got it! Mitchell spins, shoots, banks it in! That may be the dagger!
Surprise Mobley!
Perfect pass.
Oh my! Showtime here in downtown Cleveland!
Every fighter has been knocked down, and every winner has gotten back up. You never know how many chances you're gonna get. Tonight is not our final destination. Tonight, we take the next step on our journey to something much, much bigger. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? We still have a job to do. You gotta be the one to let them know. You gotta find that in you. The greats make their own circumstances regardless of the stakes. They don't wait for anything. Tonight, we finish what we start. The only way to get there is together. We move in one direction, forward. It's our turn. Let's go.
Has been sweet to the Cavaliers, still unbeaten inside the friendly confines of Rocket Arena, looking to do the same tonight in Game 6. John and Serena, this is the road to 16. We are only 7 into the 16, and I am officially exhausted.
I've had it. I gotta tell you, this every other day, I don't think that I was prepared for. It's
No.
every other day game, but it is every day we've got a show.
No question. And by the way, it's going to be every other day as we roll on. You know,
That's
whether
what
it's
it's
Game
about.
7, whether it's Game 1 in New York, the Cavs will be playing 2 days from now, hopefully in New York, kicking off that series at Madison Square Garden. It has been a wild ride. It always is in the postseason, but it has been a roller coaster. 2 nights ago in Detroit, the first time in the postseason that a road team has won, and it was our Cavaliers to take this 3-2 lead.
Unreal that was the first time,
That game,
right?
and by the way, that game was a roller coaster
oh, my
too.
gosh. Winning in overtime of that game, went down 9 with how many minutes in regulation?
Fewer than 3.
I mean, that was absolutely incredible. And you have to know that there has to be a little bit of a sense of relief, because this Cavs team had not won away from the friendly confines of Rocket Arena in over a month, John. So to win in that fashion was just incredible. There were Cavs fans there. It was just so fun.
I was just going there. How about Dan Gilbert, our chairman, pays for hundreds. 8
buses.
I know, it was fantastic.
Did you see their shirts?
Food, shirts, the whole tickets.
If we weren't working, I was going to get on one of those buses.
Believe me, when the game was over, I was up there with our buddies, with our 500, 600
I'm sure
buddies.
you were.
Yeah, I was, hanging out and enjoying it. And how about the crowd, right? Shock in Detroit. Again, a fairly comfortable 9-point lead with under 3 minutes to go, and the Pistons did not score again in regulation. And in fact, the Cavs had the ball with a chance to win it at the end of regulation.
You know, heading into Game 4, I remember Kenny Atkinson saying that, you know, we haven't really won anything yet. We won Game 3, but we have to instill some doubt into the Pistons, right? Because Pistons were feeling confident, obviously winning those first 2 games at home. And if that last game, if Game 5 did not instill doubt, I mean, you've got to now be coming into this building feeling like, obviously, it is a must-win game for them, but after what's happened the past couple of games and losing on their home floor, that mentality does matter. The momentum is all in the Cavaliers' favor.
A word of warning, however, this series is far from over. A lot of work to be done for the Cavaliers. You know, you look back at Game 4 again in terms of instilling some of that doubt. How about the 22-0 run to open up the second half as the Cavs went bananas? We could use another Cavalier. I've been asking asking for a blowout now for a long time.
You have been.
Tonight.
You have been.
I think tonight
Listen.
is our. This is why I like. We talk about this during the regular season all the time.
You do.
I do not like tight. People say, "Oh, when I'm at the game, I want to see a close game, and hopefully our team." Not me.
I know that's what you want. I just want to win.
I want to be
guys.
up
That's all I
28
want.
at the half. I never wanted to get close. That's my kind of fun when I'm at a game.
This is playoff basketball.
I
all
know.
right?
Yes.
This is
I know
gonna
what it
be-
is.
this is gonna be-
I'm
you
well
know-
aware what it is. I'm still asking for a blowout.
I appreciate.
We need one. I need a little. The nerves, the heart, the whole system.
I hear you. It would be good for both of our health if we had a blowout. That's for sure. We're on pins and needles out here.
19,432 of our friends inside Rocket Arena.
I got to tell you, I don't want my
thousands
stomach
of others
to be in knots like it has been in certain games. I'm usually pretty cool. There's some of these games, man. I got to tell you.
I have not been cool at all.
Not been cool?
Not been cool at all. At no time, but particularly during this series. Hey, tonight, Game 6 at home. When we come back, Mike Garrity, assistant coach of the Cavs, will break it all down. That's straight ahead.
A chant of "Let's go Cavs," a large contingent again. Dan Gilbert, the owner, bust a bunch of them from Cleveland.
I love this place, though. They just every time I think like, all right, a max of how much you can love being somewhere, they continue.
He steps left, shoots it, buried it! Donovan Mitchell! And now a steal by Strus. Bounce to Mitchell. Laid it up and in. Cavaliers by 7.
To see that, to hear it, felt like we were at home in a sense. Shout out to every Cavs fan. Shout out to the organization.
Cunningham blocked out of bounds by Evan Mobley. Hooks missed. Allen stuffed it home. Strus 3-ball up and good.
This is why we work so hard. Like, I want to get to the highest level.
Mobley rolling in the basket, and he stuffed it in the face of Asar Thompson. Hard left wing 3. Bullseye.
There's no relief. It's just like, okay, we did what we were supposed to do. We came in and stole one. Now we got to go out and protect home court.
The road to 16 is fueled by True North Convenience Stores. True North and New Phoenix Energy are the perfect matchup. Right now, grab 2 Phoenix Energy drinks for just $5. True North stores and True Rewards. Fast, friendly, clean. By Sarah Auto Part, your buzzer beater for greater selection. Make your shot with 5 great brands and dozens of pre-owned vehicles. Visit sarahautopart.com. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
The road to 16 is fueled by True North Convenience Stores, New Phoenix Energy Drinks, natural caffeine, 0 sugar, plus hydration to keep you in the game. Grab 2 Phoenix Energy Drinks for $5 at participating True North stores. Find a location with the True Rewards app. And Toyota, your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Back here at Cleveland Clinic Courts, we are joined by one of our favorites. It is assistant coach Mike Garrity. Mike, we had him all the way in Game 5, right?
just how we drew it up.
Just how we drew it out, right?
Exactly.
Take us through what the last couple of minutes of regulation and overtime was like for you and the coaching staff as you were down there as it unfolded.
Yeah, obviously being down 9 points with under 3 minutes to go, you knew it was going to be an uphill climb, but I think it's a great sign of where our team is at. It showed a lot of mental toughness, a lot of resiliency to continue to realize that there was still a lot of game left. Obviously, you kind of had to play almost flawless basketball, both sides of the ball at that point of the game, and the guys stepped up and made the plays offensively and defensively when they needed to.
Mike, you've done such a fantastic job this season on the defensive side of the basketball. What was the key defensively in Game 5, and what will it take here in Game 6? What needs to carry over here tonight?
So Cade was ultra aggressive in Game 5, obviously scoring 40 points and making a lot of plays with a high usage. The biggest thing with a guy like that is you got to try and keep him off balance, not give him necessarily a steady dose of one thing. But I think we got to continue to do the job there, and then also just limiting their role players from impacting the game.
You mentioned Cade. You look at the past 3 games, he's turned the ball over 19 times.
Yeah.
How much, as you heading the defense, you look at the job that your players are doing, and you credit your guys for that.
Yeah, so I think when our defense is at our best, it's when our force and when our activity is highest. And there's been some times we've been extra aggressive with Cade, whether it be pick and roll coverages or ISO defense, and I think having him play in a crowd always gives difficulty to any type of player, but just trying to show him bodies, and again, not giving him those steady doses. But I think when our force and activity and our physicality is raised, our defense takes another step.
How much of a luxury is it to have Evan Mobley, backlining this defense? Because, after the game, we're talking about these plays by Max Strus and James and even Donovan, but you look at that fourth quarter, and there were stretches there where he was just absolutely dominating the game.
Yeah, I think just us having those two bigs and Evan and Jared Allen to always just cover for any mistakes that happen on the perimeter is just such a luxury for us to have. And so they just have this just knack to just go after the basketball. And they've been playing together for so long that they play off one another so well. So when J.A. goes to the rim, Evan's always protecting him. And then when Evan goes, J.A. vice versa. So having those guys just inside presence, but also Evan's versatility to be able to guard inside, but also outside on the perimeter. If he gets switched on to Cade or he's guarding Tobias Harris on the perimeter, he's a defensive player of the year for a reason, right? And so we're very fortunate to have a guy like that.
Mike, I'm curious from a philosophical standpoint, when you play a team like the Pistons that's so Cade heavy, when you have a dominant scorer like that, do you tend to lean toward let Cade get his, take everybody else away, or do we need to slow down that guy who is the alpha scorer in Cade?
I think that's part of just reading the game, right? I think early on in the game he was, he was scoring and his usage was high, and then later in the game, we try to get the ball out of his hands. So I think that's a feel that you kind of have to have as the game's going on. But another piece of this is you can't lose fact of, the other role players and the impact that they can have on a game as well. One thing that we've really been emphasizing with our group is a possession battle. And I talked about it earlier with our force and activity. I think it was game 4, we forced 20 turnovers. First half, game 5, we only forced 6. And in that second half, we forced 9. So there's a correlation between that, and so we're really emphasizing that possession game, whether it be forcing turnovers and then also the rebounding piece, which they're so good at.
No question. Coming into this series, you know what Cade can do. Everybody knew what Donovan Mitchell can do, what James Harden can do. So much of this series, many thought would be based upon what we see in the paint. Assess what you've seen in that paint game through 5 games so far in this series.
Yeah, I thought we did a good job in game 5 of limiting their field goal attempts at the rim. We forced them into some tougher paint shots and some tough mid-range shots, and you have a shot profile of shots that you want to force teams into, and you want to keep them away from the rim and take away those open catch-and-shoot threes. I thought we did a pretty good job of forcing into those areas, but sometimes, shot luck doesn't work in your favor, and they make those types of shots, and those are the times where you got to be willing to adjust and feel how the game is going.
Explain that to the fans a little bit, because we often hear the word shot profile, shot quality. It's really easy to look at a stat sheet and see blocks as an example, right? But so much more than blocks goes into protecting the paint. So from your side, when you're re-looking at film and reanalyzing, what does that actually mean? What shows you that you're doing a good job in that area?
Well, first you want to look at the shot chart and where their shots are coming from. And so anything inside of the restricted tells you that we're not doing a great job, number 1, on the basketball, and then number 2, in our help defense of being ready to go and protect. You'd like to force more into that mid-range area and then take away a lot of those corner threes. But another piece of that is obviously there's the shots that you would like to force, but now it's the contest impact. It's the distance you are to the shooter. It's the jump height on your contest. All those things play a part of it. And then also the player and the personnel of the one that is shooting the basketball.
You also talk a lot about help defense, when to help, when not to help, right? With what you guys are doing right now, where have you found growth in that area with guys?
Yeah, so I think our connection has improved as the series has went on, whether it be on the perimeter with our guards being in just a simple gap when an ISO is taking place to just show a crowd, make the floor feel crowded. When the ball is penetrated and gets past our first line of defense, is our big in position to go protect the rim, which they are. That's what they are wired to do, and they're elite at doing. And now the next piece of that is, because they're so good on the glass, is having that next guard when our 5 goes to protect the rim, being ready to crack back on Duran, being ready to crack back on Stewart as they're in that paint area.
Mike, before we let you go, final question. For the Cavs to win Game 6, they must do what? What is at the top of that scouting report for tonight?
Win the possession game.
Yeah.
That's the key. Win the possession game, rebound the basketball, take care of the basketball on the offensive end and bring the force that we need in a closeout game.
Mike Garrity, we always appreciate it. Let's get it done here tonight.
You got it.
All right, more right after this on the road to 16.
I'm Thomas Bryant.
Bryant. Oh, my! Thomas Bryant.
And you're watching Rock Entertainment Sports Network.
The road to 16 is fueled by True North convenience stores, new Phoenix energy drinks, natural caffeine, zero sugar, plus hydration to keep you in the game. Grab 2 Phoenix energy drinks for $5 at participating True North stores. Find a location with the True Rewards app. And Toyota, your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
All right, John and Serena back here to get you set for Game 6 tonight. 2 nights ago in Detroit, Game 5. Cade Cunningham has his best game offensively of the series, goes for 39. Remember, too, in that game, Duncan Robinson did not play. It was Danis Jenkins who got the start alongside Cade Cunningham. Jenkins was strong in the first half, but boy, the Cavs withstand a big Cade game, still get the W. Big point in this series.
Yeah, and you got to credit Max Strus in this one, instilling some fear. Also into Cade, this is not the first time in this series where Max Strus has come up with a big steal leading to a Cade Cunningham turnover. I thought that was an interesting storyline that you mentioned with Robinson being out. Jenkins was giving them some great juice off the bench. He came in Game 5, and from opening tip, he was ready to go. So credit the Cavs for turning the defense around in the second half.
Yeah, Cavs cooled Jenkins in that second half as well after Jenkins got off to the strong start. It took a village on Cade Cunningham defensively. It will again tonight. Here was Cade after Game 5 at the mic, fueled by True North convenience stores, as he talked about the ball game and projected ahead to tonight's Game 6.
Cade, can you just give me a sense of the team's mentality? Obviously now you got to go into their barn where they haven't lost and now they have an opportunity to close out. Just give me a sense of the emotion, the intensity, the urgency, how you guys are feeling going in.
Yeah, I mean, tonight was tough. Tough loss. Obviously, we wanted to protect our home court. We failed to do that. Being up 3-2 is an advantage for them. It's first to 4 wins, though. We know that. We've had our back against the wall before. And at the end of the day, I mean, if we can't win a game on the road, how far are we really going to get in the playoffs? How far are we going to get in this league? So, got to go win a game on the road. That's what we're going to go do.
Two things, Cade. One, do you feel that in hindsight the game was lost more in the 9-point lead at the end of regulation as opposed to in overtime? And second part, was there any one play for you that you wish you could have back, when you're looking back on it?
I mean, turning the ball over in overtime. Strus got a steal. I think he dished it and got a layup or something. I wish I could have that play back for sure. If I could just single out one play, there's a lot of plays that, I wish I could take back, but it's basketball. It's an imperfect game. I made a lot of mistakes tonight. The team, we made some mistakes. No, it's part of the game. That giving up that lead, not executing down the stretch is what I think, really hurt. The free throw block out at the end with James Harden, I mean, all those little things hurt, but you got to learn from it and got to be better for it.
The road to 16 is fueled by True North convenience stores. True North convenience stores and new Phoenix Energy are the perfect matchup. Right now, grab 2 Phoenix Energy drinks for just $5. True North stores and True Rewards. Fast, friendly, clean. And by Toyota, your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Tonight was the epitome of every single person doing just a little bit more, right? Like, in every way, whether it's communication, whether it's rebounding, whether it's scoring, whether it's whatever, spacing, that was the epitome of it, you know what I mean? And let's just keep it going. We got one more. We haven't accomplished so let's just remember that. We haven't accomplished I know it feels good and all that, but we did a great job, and let's protect home.
All right. Come on, man. Bring it in. Let's get out of there. Big Four, what do you got?
Together on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Together.
All right. right, we're back to wrap things up here on the road to 16. This is the road to the finals driven by Toyota. After Cavs Pistons tonight, Spurs Timberwolves in Minnesota. The Spurs are up 3-2 in that series as the Timberwolves look to stay alive. Now, the next stop fueled by True North convenience stores. Here are the scenarios in terms of what happens tonight in the 2 Game 6s. If the Cavaliers win this evening, their first game in New York will be, 2 days from now, a 3:30 tip at Madison Square Garden. If Game 7 is necessary in Detroit, the Cavs will play either at 5 or at 8. But we're not going to need to worry about that, right, Serena?
No.
Take
I
care
didn't
of
even
business.
listen to you just now, John.
You never listen to me. What difference does that make? But Game 6 here tonight. Cavs hopefully going to take care of business and roll on to New York.
Yeah, a couple of things to watch tonight is the injury report for the Pistons. Karis LeVert, Duncan Robinson, and Kevin Huerter, they're all listed as questionable. Obviously, we mentioned Jenkins started in the last game. And you heard Mike Garrity talk about just winning the possession game. The turnovers are once again a big issue in the first half for the Cavs. Can they lock that down here at home?
Robinson did not play last game. Kevin Huerter made a cameo, didn't play very long. That was his first game of the series. We will see how it shakes out tonight in Game 6. Also notable, Jalen Duren. He was on the bench down the stretch in that ball game. We saw a lot of Paul Reed. And again, some questions coming in personnel-wise for J.B. Bickerstaff and the Pistons. Game 6 tonight. Hopefully the Cavs can wrap things up. Yeah!
I was just about to say,
this segment is brought to you by Phoenix Energy, our favorite hydration drink. Cavs looking to bring the energy here tonight. Take care, everyone.